You mean on top of the sea there?
I mean, these residential quarters. Residential quarters, there are decent houses there.
It was easier before.
Like now.
It's possible for me.
Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
I'm not ready to how to buy.
You buy from the school authority. Yeah, that will work. It's money everybody's looking for.
Everybody's looking for.
If you offer something to the university, they give it to you.
Yeah, sure.
When they see that the university is going to get rich just by selling a VQ to somebody,
why won't? And that's what they want.
It will not work if you are not giving them enough money.
You have to have enough to buy them out.
It must be more than enough in the first place. So much watering
to be attractive.
Yes,
it's like
competitive price.
No, attractive, very powerful one. And they know that nobody else. Yes, handsome. They know that nobody else can offer them something like that. It's because of you. Normally we don't.
Because of you.
Hello, friends. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
When I walk around that place, I experience. I have lived around. I've been around GRA experience.
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Good evening, sir. You can hear you, sir.
All right. Oh, great. We'll just give some time, probably like 3 minutes for others to join. So just give like 3 minutes for others to join, then we'll kickstart. We will not need to wait endlessly. Others will be joining us as the meeting goes on. Mr. Samson, good to have you, sir. You're welcome. Glad to have you. All right, gentlemen, good evening. Gentlemen, good evening. If you can hear me, please kindly respond.
Clearly, sir.
All right. Good evening. I want to welcome Mr. Ayodele Michael. I want to welcome, well, I saw Student Security Nigeria here. Okay, you're welcome. I want to welcome Sulaimon O. Okiki. You're welcome. And also Mr. Samson Omotosho. You are very welcome. We are going to start straight away without wasting any further time. So we can just go straight into the core of the matter today. We don't have so much time. In fact, we have to just maximize the time. Mr. Sampson, because you are presenting, kindly check your audio. Yeah, gentlemen, good evening once again. I want to thank you for joining us in this meeting. We are going to start right away. And we are trusting the Lord that is going to help us today to be able to address some of the critical issues at hand. But before we go on, I would like to appreciate some of our facilitators who are on board tonight. I would want us to know them and also to so that we can relate with them, because this meeting is not just a one-off meeting. We are actually coming up with a strategy of helping quite a number of people to get out of joblessness and to be able to stand on their feet even in the face of several economic situations and downturn in our country. So it's going to be a mentoring platform whereby we share ideas and we relate with ourselves and we solve our problems by ourselves. So let me welcome Mr. Ayodele Michael, is one of our facilitators, and also Mr. Samson Omotosho is one of our facilitators, and also Mr. Yomi Babalola. These are our facilitators. Okay. This meeting is tagged positioning for new normal. We all know what has befallen the nations, not just Nigeria, and there are a lot of issues at hand. There are a lot of limitations on the part of people. The global scene has been severely affected, and there is a lot of critical issues around. And the chances of people's survival is gradually phasing out. But in the midst of it, we just want to address certain issues for us to reposition and to see possibility even in the face of several challenges that is confronting us. So that is what this meeting is basically addressing. And if you look at the flyer, if you have one, I would want to share one with us right now so that we could. I'm sharing it right away, okay? Repositioning for the new normal, right? Okay. So, by the grace of God, I am the host and I'm the director of Leadership Development Center that is based here in Ibadan. We engage in a lot of training, capacity development, and the rest of the community and social work and all of that. So, and with me are these gentlemen who are my very good friends. They are doing so fantastically well in their sphere of influences and in business. And we want to come together and see how we can begin to impact, the society, and especially with major focus on the youth, the unemployed youth, so that we begin to engage them positively to see possibility in the face of hopelessness and impossibility, and using their experiences and the skills that they have gathered over the years, that they can be able to impact several others who are also in similar issues. So that is why we are coming together for this meeting. So I want us to is going to be an interactive forum, because we would like to know some of us the more, so that we're able to help us in whatsoever we are doing. Okay, so to get started today, I would like to introduce our speaker, because the way it is done is we have some recorded videos that has already been done. I will just give us some of the tips, probably like 5 to 10 minutes of those videos, and furthermore, we can on our own we can still get online and download or listen to them and bring out, probably send your feedbacks and your comments. But tonight we're going to have a live speaker who will be addressing us, and I would like to introduce him right away so that he can share with us in the next few minutes and on opportunities in journalism. You know, we are breaking this down into several sections, you know. And if I can run it down with us, let me quickly run it down with us and see some of the issues that we will be addressing, you know, as regards this uh, online engagement. Okay. Um, give me a few moments. Let me. I want to share with us some of the topics we'll be discussing in this program today, because it's a 2-day engagement. So today and tomorrow we will be here, rubbing minds together. Mr. Yomi Babalola will be speaking on money management in 2021. Okay, let me try and share my screen so that you can see it. Okay, we'll be speaking on money management in 2021. Then this our speaker will be speaking to us today. Mr. Samson Omotosho will be speaking on opportunities in journalism, and also the gift of a man. That is, how your gift can count in such a time as this, when the nations of the world are experiencing a lot of difficulty. Okay. Then Mr. Yemi Akinshola will be speaking on business opportunities and funding stroke preparation of business plan. Some of us are in business, but we don't know how to actually leverage in raising funds and generating funds to empower ourselves and to help our business grow. He is an expert in that, and he has resources. He is well versed and experienced, and he's going to be sharing that with us. Okay, Mr. Adele Olajubutu will be speaking on brand perception. How do you remain visible? You know, how can people connect with you using your brand? You know, many of us, we are doing fantastic things, but nobody knows us. So how do you launch out? Okay. Also, Kade Adegbeson will be speaking on gospel of entrepreneurship. You know, we will hear him today. Prospects and challenges. You know, a lot of people have said a lot of things about entrepreneurship. Not every one of us can go there. Not everybody can become entrepreneur and all of that. We'll hear some of those things there. Okay. This is my humble self. I'll be giving us an introductory charge on positioning for the new normal. Okay. Then Mr. Philip Amiola will be speaking on online business opportunities in 2021 and beyond. What are the things we should look forward to? You know, how do you position yourself? You know, okay. I think we have one more person. All right. Michael Ogushino will be speaking on political positioning towards the future. We are very conversant with the names. This young man was given an award on BCOS TV by the management of BCOS for being the best guest analyst of the year. You know, the way he analyzed news and all the events that goes on around. So we are bringing great people our way, and there are people we can relate with. These people, fine, we are not there yet, but you can relate with their stories, and you could see that the age gap and age difference is not, you know, is not too far. Unlike bringing Dangote in, you'll be thinking, when will I get to that level? So what we are doing is basically to understand why we are together here and what can we do to help ourselves. Okay, as my little charge and introduction to us today, we are in a period of crisis, and I want us to know that there is a challenge at heart. And do you know one thing with challenges is the more challenges, the more opportunities are being created. And that's what I want us to understand. The more challenges we have, then the more opportunities will be created for as many who can just make a shift in their thinking, who can just make a shift in the way they do things. New normal, that is the new language that has just been carved out based on what has befallen the entire world. And because the entire world now are now locked down into a particular way of thinking and a particular way of reasoning. So here we are. There is need for us to change the way we think, our mindset, and reposition for the opportunities at hand. The fact of the matter is several people are losing their jobs. Several people will still lose their jobs. Some countries are entering into the phase 2 of lockdown now. So if income is not really coming in for organizations to maintain their infrastructure, salaries, and all of those expenditures, then they will still continue to cut down on the sizes of the staff. That then you begin to hear duplication of duties and all of that. So because they'll be looking for one person who can function in like 4 offices or can add additional responsibility to cope. And what will be the fate of young people who are unemployed? So the reality of the matter is we just have to shift our focus into something else and begin to look inward into what we can do by ourselves to help ourselves. So that is the main key point that we are addressing. And before I go on, we have, as Leadership Development Center, we run various platforms of engagement and training, whereby we train, undergraduates, we train graduates and people who are just losing jobs and what have you, to actually start up a business by themselves. Even if you don't have an idea, you will have a team of people, experienced and expert, who will sit down with you and discover the area of your strength and what you can actually do and the niche that you can catch for yourself. The point is there are opportunities for all of us and we need to launch out. We need to make the best use of this time. The more challenges we have right now, even in the entire world, proves to us that more people are needed who are going to solve the problem. It has come to an era now that if you don't belong to the digital generation, you don't have a say. Being a pastor, being an imam, being a traditionalist, being a business person, being a teacher, being a professional, if you are not digitally inclined, I'm telling you, you are losing out. So the first thing, engagement that you have is acquire some digital skills for yourself. That's what this training is addressing. And that is whatsoever you are doing, then you have to reposition and see what opportunities can come your way. Okay, that is just my little introduction. I would like to invite our speaker, our first speaker tonight. We have like 5, but don't worry, we're going to cut it down short so that you can have a tip of some of their presentations. Then if you now want more exposure into such training, their slides and all of that, we'll make sure that all of them are uploaded. I think we have about 2 videos now that is on our WhatsApp and our social media platform, Facebook and YouTube. We have like 2 videos that have been uploaded today, and more will still be uploaded. We want to put in as many materials that could help people get started, from the level where they are right now into where God actually wants them to be. Okay, so I would like to introduce our speaker tonight in person of Mr. Samson Omotosho, who will be speaking to us on opportunities in journalism, the gift of a man. All right, okay. So, Mr. Samson Motosho, the floor is yours now. You can kindly come on board. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Ajani. I must appreciate you for this time that you actually created for everyone to come together. What's a time? It's a very, very tough time for a lot of people. And it's an opportunity for everybody to catch some things. And I must appreciate you for the time that you have actually created, trying to bring young people together. It's not an easy task, but you have actually done this, and which is commendable. And it's actually something that it's worth emulating. I feel that everyone listening and watching right now should be very, very glad that they are part of this meeting. I'm here to actually learn. I'm here to learn, to unlearn, to relearn, and to unlearn. I've actually learned. And like you said, the world is fast becoming a digital world where you virtually do nothing without going digital. And that has called for a lot of questions. And like you said, I'm going to be speaking on the topic opportunities in journalism. And, there are some basic things that we need to understand when we talk about opportunities in journalism and the gift of a man as well. Firstly, I would want to quickly do a definition of what journalism actually means. It's the activity of gathering, assessing, creating, and presenting news and information. Now, that's the basic, definition for journalism. Journalism is a very broad, professional course. We have different kinds of journalism. We've got, we have broadcast journalism. We have lots of them. But first, I want us to understand some basic things. What's the role of a journalism? A role of journalism is to establish the facts and also share them as widely as possible. That's the basic work of a journalist. And looking at opportunities in there, I'm just going to run through some things because basically I want us to touch, some of the opportunities, some of the gifts that we are loaded with. A lot of us are loaded with gifts. We're loaded with so much talent, but we don't even know how to, harness them, and we don't even know how to use these the talents and the gifts that we are endowed with. What opportunities in journalism? We've got broadcast journalists. Who is a broadcast journalist? Someone who casts news and someone who actually go there to do presenting of information, a presentation of programs. That's a broadcast journalist. We have editorial assistant or editorial journalist. That's someone who does the editing of news. Whenever news comes in, you just go there and do the editing, you do the modification, the necessary work that ought to be done is done by the editorial. And we have the magazine journalists. Those are call them the print media. Talking about, you see them, the magazine, you see what they do, you see those magazines about, talking about, you want to talk about some of the magazines that we have, popular one, Ovation magazine. Those are the people that we call, we call them magazine journalists. Those that produce it, they go out there to store information that will enrich, and people will actually get some information to themselves. And of course, we have newspaper journalists. It's also under print because you go there. One of the examples, Tribune, Vanguard, and Punch. You hear a whole lot of them like that. All of these people are called newspaper journalists. They go out there to source for information. They go as far as go into some deep places where you, as an ordinary person, might not necessarily want to go, but you go there. So, well, I hope we are all following, because I want it to be a two-way thing. I wouldn't want it to be a lecture thing, but it's a two-way communication. And I hope that we are actually getting what I'm saying. I know if you're there and you're actually getting what I'm saying, you can give me a thumbs. or you just do just a thumbs up for me to know that you are there with me and you're communicating with me. A thumbs up will actually do. You can go there and get it on one of the menus there. You're going to get it there. Now, we have another, which is the political risk analyst. These are people that goes into the nitty-gritty of politics. They go as far as getting photographs and videos of things happening in our polity. So those are the people that we call, referred to as the political risk analyst. They go there, they do a whole lot of work as they can. Well, I'm just going to stop there because we have a whole lot of them. We have editorial, we've got the screenwrites, we've got copywriters, a whole lot of them that we have talking about the opportunities. Now, it is not just about the opportunities. It is for you to get yourself prepared for these opportunities because many of these opportunities are staring at us. And one thing I would also like us to understand, it is not rocket science. You don't become a journalist all of a sudden. You don't come and say, I want to be a journalist because you like the profession. You don't say because, okay, you think they make money there, because I'm sure some of us feel, okay, there is a lot of money in journalism. So you want to go there and, make some money. It's not about making money. It's all about having passion for it. And beyond having passion for it, you must be able to be someone who can go there and source for information, because information is very, very vital when you talk about journalism. It's very, very important. And we have some of these. Let me just break it down a little bit and talk about some of the journalists that journalism, some of the aspects of journalism that we have. One of it is we have photography journalists. These are people that go out there to get information via photos. They go there to take pictures and they come back with evidences. Those are some evidences that we work with as broadcast journalists, just in case we want to refer you to some things, or we want to refer you back to, to time. We get those pictures. And we also have those people that we call investigative journalists. Those are the people that go, it's a very risky one, though, but it's one that is very viable in our society right now. And I've spoken a lot about journalism and some of the roles. I've spoken about the opportunities that we have out there as well. Now, what are the opportunities, the main opportunities that we have in journalism? Now, one of it is you must be ready at every point in time. You must be ready. You go for information, you source for information. And when you're sourcing for information, you be careful. You need to be very careful about the information you're sourcing. That is, you have to ensure you do due diligence by investigating those informations, because that's what's going to give you credibility, because your information must be credible. And that is where you get opportunity to go in. There are some people that stays at home, and that's why you hear on the news and they tell you, just in case there's any news that is breaking around your area, you can as well send us, some information. We have some investigative journalists on the streets. Some of them, you don't even know them. They are just there. They're like, the state CID that you see out there, the source for information, and some information you get and you hear, like, where did this one come from? Those work are done by investigative journalists that have gone out there to source for information. Now, the question that some of you might want to ask is, how do I get into journalism? There are a lot of required things that you need. Number one, you need to have passion. That's number one. You need to be passionate about it. You don't go there because you want to make money. It's not just about money. It is passion that calls for money. So if you go there with the intent that you want to go there and make money, you might be making the wrong thing. Might be making, might be making a lot of mistakes by coming in there. Now, secondly, you have to be on your toes. You must be someone who sources for information 24 hours. You go there, you source for information, credible information, like I said. You must go and investigate those informations if they are true or false, because there we have a lot of false information, flying all over the internet, flying all over social media. So it must be, be someone that is credible. So when you talk, people want to listen to you. And that is that about that. Now, I want us to just go a little bit further. You must be able to continuously engage and educate yourself. You want to be a journalist, you must educate yourself. You must be ready to learn, relearn, unlearn. There's some things that you feel they are right, but they are right now obsolete. But that's why you have to seek for knowledge. You seek for knowledge, you read books, you read magazines, you read articles, anyone that comes your way, because you don't know where information, might come from, and you might need it. And there's some pictures as well, some videos that you do well by investigating some of these videos as well. Now, another thing is you must enroll for courses for you to remain relevant in this present time. It has gotten beyond writing pen on paper, and you just go out there, just do a surface, in surface investigation, and you come back and you feel that, oh, people are there to get you and listen to you. No, it doesn't happen that way. Enroll for courses, read, go for courses online. There are a lot of free online courses that you can actually enroll for. Some people might say, well, I don't have money to enroll. There are a lot of free online courses out there. By the time you go online, you're going to get to see them, and you will, be able to be knowledgeable. Even the Holy Scripture, I'm sorry for those of us that are Muslims or are traditionalists, I just have to say this. The Holy Book says that we should seek for knowledge, and in all thy getting, get understanding. So you must go out there, seek for knowledge, go there, get the knowledge required. Because look at it right now. In 2021, a lot of things are going to change. Remember, we're talking about repositioning us for the new normal. The new normal is that we're not going to just be sitting in the office and information comes to you. You must go out there to source for it. And you must be able to be, digitally inclined. You must be a digitally inclined person. You must be familiar with so many tools on the system. You must know a lot of, applications to work with, because the world is going digital. The world has gone digital and it's leaving you behind. If you don't catch up with it, it's going to leave you behind. So there's some things that you know yesterday, but today it has become obsolete. So you have to, keep yourself abreast, get information, and make yourself available. Now, let me quickly come to the gift of man, because I have limited time. I'm trying to work with the time given to me. Now, I'll go back to the scriptures again. The scripture says, the gift of a man shall make room for him, shall make him stand before great men and not mean men, just mere men. It makes you stand before great men. Now, I'm going to share a little story of mine with you, in the space of few minutes. Now, how did I get into the field of journalism? I didn't study journalism. I didn't study it. I actually studied communication technology. For those of us who are science inclined, you understand what communication technology is. Is a branch of computer science, talking about the communication aspect of computer science, and that's what I actually studied. But I grew to love the media. I grew to, I want to source for information. Just want to get some things. I want to be, at the forefront. Just get information at my disposal and be able to disseminate it to people. And that was what prompted it. And I happen to be someone who love sports so much. So from there, I started with sports. Back there in Lagos, I was in Lagos, and someone asked me, said, "Well, I see you talk about you guys football and all that. Can you come and be an analyst on our program on DBN, the DBN Sports?" So in Lagos, for some of us who are familiar with Lagos, you know about DBN. So I actually went there, and when I got there, we're given, were auditioned to see who will actually go there. And prior to that time, in my church, I have always been someone who loves acting. I was into acting. God has blessed me with that gift of acting. I do acting, so I do voiceover. Those voiceover jingles and all of that, I run that. I was never taught any of this. It was just the gift. That's what we're talking about, the gift of man. But I did not just stop with the gift. Gift is just a raw material, in what makes it to become very viable to you when you develop it. Like when you see a gold on the floor, I'm sure when you walk past it, you are not going to pick it. It's in its raw state. So that is how gifts are. Gifts, it comes like people will just see it. They see the prospect, but the real content lies within you sharpening it. You need to sharpen it. You need to try as much as possible to develop yourself. How do you develop yourself? Go closer to people who are already developed and try to tap from them, try to learn from them, try to hear from them. Um, well, I'm so sorry. That was a little break in transmission from the network. And like I said, you need to try as much as possible, get closer to people who are already practicing, who are already professionals in this field. And when you get close to them, you see the rub-off effect. It happens. Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friends. So you need to go close to someone who's going to sharpen you up, one who is already ahead of you in that field, where you can tap. And as well as you tap, you read more about it. You go out there, you source for information, you meet people, you ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to fail. Sometimes we fail and we come back. The failure actually makes you not to go back to the same mistake that you made again. So don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to fall. If you fall, you're going to stand up again, rise up again, and be stronger again. So the gift of a man is what makes room for the man. But another thing is gifts cannot be the only thing that can take you there. It has to take attitude. Now, there's some words, some people would say attitude is everything. So now your attitude determines your altitude. So you must be able to have good attitude. Now, when you're learning, a lot of things will come your way. People will smart, they will scold you. They will, some people will think they're stifling you, but it is just to make you stronger. When gold is going through the process of refining, it goes through a hot fire. So that hot fire is when you're going to be scolded, you're going to be spoken to. Some people will talk to you anyhow, and you feel less of yourself. No, you don't have to feel less of yourself. You need to stay focused and know what you are actually doing. And that is the way to go about it. You're going to face a lot of obstacles. You're going to face people that are going to talk to you anyhow, but don't be fret. Don't fret at all. Look at it like one of those things that happens, because it is something that will usually happen. Now, back to my story. Now, when I got there, I was given an audition, I passed, and I was on TV. A lot of people actually saw me, hey, how did you get to do that? Now, in my corner of my room, stand before me to present. And eventually it paid off for me. I went for the audition. I never knew it was going to be an audition. I thought it was just going to be that you go on air. But fortunately for me, I got there and I passed the audition and I was on TV. And everybody saw me like, have you been doing this before? I said, no, it was just practice. So you have to practice before you get the opportunity. Now, we're talking about opportunities in journalism. There are some opportunities that are staring at you in the eye right now, but you're not seeing it. You're not seeing it basically because you have not prepared yourself. Because when preparation hits opportunity, then it results to success. So success doesn't just come like that. It comes from preparation. So when you prepare yourself, it is from preparation that you get the opportunity. And when the opportunity comes, you grab it and you use it. So I feel that I've been able to, tell you some few things about myself. And how did I get to Ibadan? I got to Ibadan. I came to visit my sister. And when I got to visit my sister, well, Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to send my name and location, everything you're going to know. Um, like I said, I came to visit my sister here in Ibadan, and she happens to live opposite Impact Business Radio here in Ibadan. So when I saw it, I said, well, I told my sister, I said, this is an opportunity for me. I do some of these things. If I can get an opportunity, I'll be fine. And she told me, well, you can try your luck. Now, fortunately for me, the church which I attend right now, New Covenant Church, was very close to the place. So I went there just to worship. And when I got in talk, in touch with the pastor, he told me, what do I do? What can I do? And I told him that I can analyze sports. I can do, some things and all of that. So when I said that to people, when I said that to her, to him rather, my pastor, he told me, well, we have someone. I said, we have someone. We have someone here in Impact Business Radio whom I can introduce you to. If you can do it, I said, fine. And he connected me with one of the bosses here. And when I got there, he asked me one or two things. What can I do? And on that very day, I got on TV. So on TV, they saw me, they said, have you been doing it before? I said, yes, I was with DBN. And that was how I got into Impact Business Radio. And from there, I was talking on, I talk sports, analyze sports on TV, Impact Africa Television, and on radio, Impact Business Radio. So I do both, there. And I began to ask myself, I said, God, what do you want me to do? And God told me that I need you to put up a program. It's a youth program. And He gave me the program, and it's titled The Avalanche. And that's what I pushed it to the board of directors here, and they saw it as a good program, and they approved it. And that was I started doing my program myself here. Now, someone will ask, you don't have any background journalism, journalism in background journalism. You don't have any background in broadcasting. You don't have any background in any of those things. Well, you might say I don't have the certificate, but I've got a background because I have an experience. I've worked somewhere before. I developed myself, and that's why I'm working there. That's the gift of a man that makes room for him, makes him stand before great men and not mean men. So I believe I'm able to touch some of the things that you might want to ask, and I'm going to be open right now because like I said, I'm going to do this. In the world of this global complexity and ideology with velocity, there is a need for a shift, and there is a need for a shift and align with this new normal. Ever since we saw the new normal, which is the global COVID-19 pandemic came on, we saw it. We saw what happened. Everything changed. So you have to constantly change as well. Adapt to the new normal. What's the new normal? Normal is not for you to sit down and expect information to come to you. You need to go source for it and have first-class information. I bet you if you have first-class information and those information are verified and viable, trust me, you are going to be the next person in the world of journalism. Now, guess what? I was with one of my guests. He said something. He said, "Hey, Sam, there's nothing like certificate anymore. It is what can you do." Now, it's no longer where graduates go about with their files and start looking for a job because you've got first class. Now, my brother, my sister, that's not going to do you any good. Now, certificate that does not do nothing again. It is your ability to do something. What is in your hand? What do you have in your hand? What is that gift? What is that talent that you have nurtured in your bedroom? That gift that you have nurtured in the corner of your room. And then you're seeking for opportunity. And when the opportunity comes, you're going to grab it. There are a lot of opportunities that is staring at you. Now, what are the opportunities? Now, those problems you see as problems around you in your neighborhood, they are opportunities. It is not just in journalism, but in other spheres of life. Now, someone is right there crying, saying, well, I go to the bank, it's stressful. Now, that's an opportunity for you to get, what we call it PAGA. Some people say it's PAGA, that's online the ATM, you don't necessarily used to use ATM. You just go there around and use, what do we even call it now? The machine we use in getting money. Now, a lot of businesses are there. Just open your eyes and look at those things we call problems. Those problems are opportunities for you to grab. Now, look at it right now. The whole world is crying and saying there is no money, there's no nothing, there's no this, there is no that. But it is an opportunity for you and I to go out there and be a solution to these problems. By being a solution to these problems, you're going to put yourself out there. Now, like I told you, nobody taught me how to do jingle. Nobody taught me how to do voiceover for documentary. But here I am. I've been doing it for the past 2 years now. I do voiceover, I do jingle, I do documentary, I do all of this. Now, nobody thought, but it's an inbuilt, and I built myself. I was able to develop myself. And right now, a lot of people called me to come do jingle. Even sometimes, there was a time that I got an Oyo State work to do. That's what the gift of a man can do for you. So now let's look at it from that point of view. And without, to say more is to lie. And, without gainsaying, like they will always make room for you. It will always make room for you for great men, not just mere men, but great men. I'm sure that you might have learned one or two things from what I've said. Like I said, I'm here to learn from you as well. I am not an island. I do not know it all, but it's just an opportunity. And I actually appreciate each and every one of you that have stayed online to listen to the few points that I've actually been able to make. And I hope that I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that there are lots and loads of opportunities in journalism. I want to draw the curtain close now and await your questions that you want to ask. Pastor Ajani, I hope you're there. Thank you very much for this opportunity. I do not take it for granted. I am very, very, I'm delighted and I'm elated to be here amongst God's great people. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Oh, what a great presentation. Very short, accurate, and precise. Friends, can we appreciate our friend, our brother? That was loaded. That was loaded. That was loaded. And it boils down to the fact that we need to begin to look inward now. What do you have in your hand? Your creativity, you have to bring it to limelight. Enough of recently I was speaking with a brother. He told me he's presently having his master's in one of the universities in Lagos, and he said he doesn't really have he does not have a job. So I said, what do you have? Do you have any skills? And she began to tell me some of the skills that he has. I can do this, I can do that. And yet I was now shocked and said that you don't have a job, because our system has locked us to this paper certificate that until you tender it to an organization and you are given an office and you are given a car or whatever, nobody wants to actually till his own ground. Now the new normal, now you got to work, till your ground and feed yourself. And the point is, there are so many enormous opportunity that all of us can tap into, and without threat of losing your job or what you are doing. So thank you once again, my brother, for such a powerful presentation. We appreciate you, and I know people appreciate you too. Somebody has already sent a chat. Thank you very much, sir, for the presentation. Okay. The next person I would like to speak to us is Mr. Yomi Babalola. I'm just going to, his video is presently on Facebook, being premiered there. The link is there, and that we can watch at our free time. But I would just want, for the purpose of this of this presentation, probably like 5 minutes out of that presentation, because he is also here live. So I want us to have a double dose. We have the video and also we have him live to just speak to us in a few minutes. So that let me get the video on and listen to it. He will be speaking on money management. So I would like us to first listen to that. Money management. Okay.
Good day, everyone. My name is Yomi Babalola. It's my pleasure to be here under the auspices of Leadership Development Center. I am honored to want to share with you today what I have tagged money management in the year 2021. The year 2020 has been a very dynamic year in its own way. It's a year that the entire world was brought to our knees. The universe bowed to the ravaging COVID-19 pandemic. The entire economic landscape and postulations were disrupted as nations slide into record time. Weakened purchasing power of the consumer, high foreign exchange rates, and inflation. Under these economic uncertainties, it has become increasingly difficult to find an investment vehicle that negates the harsh economic hardship that we have found ourselves and that negates harsh effect of inflation on savings and purchasing power. Today, this presentation reviews a few economic indices of Nigeria for the year 2020 and recommend ways to manage our finances and investments in the coming year 2021. So I welcome you to this discourse and I welcome you to this presentation. We're going to be looking at a few things that are very germane, and I want you to follow me with your heart because I believe that 2021 is a year that we will need to recover from where we have found ourselves in the year 2020. 2020, yes, of course, has been a very tough and difficult year for quite a number of people. But then we are hopeful that 2021 will come good and every one of us will be better for it. So we're talking about money management. Money management. Anytime we have to discuss the issue of money, I know a whole lot of people are interested because all that we do circle around money. Apart from the fact that we serve God, apart from the fact that we have a family, but there is a major thing that binds every one of us together. There's a major thing that brings all of us together. There is a major reason why every one of us, when we wake up in the morning, we step out of our houses, we go to our places of work because we want to do what? We want to earn money. And so we're going to be talking about money management for the year 2021. So what is money management? Money management refers to the process of budgeting, investing, saving, spending with one's finances. In other words, it also means how you handle all aspects of your finances, from making a budget for where each paycheck goes to setting long-term goals or picking investment that will help you reach those goals. Money management. Let's look at a few economic indices as it affects us in the nation. It is no longer news. Nigeria is in recession. This is the second recession in the last 5 years. And it is sad that we have found ourselves in this particular situation right now. Let's look at a few things. Indices, like I said earlier. Nigeria's gross domestic product, the GDP, in real terms declined by negative 3.62% year on year in quarter three of 2020, making a full-blown recession and a second consecutive contraction from negative 6.10% recorded in the previous quarter, that is quarter 2 of 2020. So the economy is in second recession in 5 years. I had said that earlier. Our GDP for 2 consecutive quarters, quarter 2 and quarter 3, have contracted And therefore, we found ourselves in another tight corner. We found ourselves as a nation in another recession in 5 years. Sad, but it is the reality of the time that we are in. But I'm positive that we will come out of it and we will be better. Let's look at inflation. This should interest you. Remember, at a particular point in time, the figure was dropping and we were excited that inflation is dropping and we were hopeful that it would become a single digit. However, our hopes were a little bit dashed. As I speak to you right now, Nigeria inflation rate has risen to 14.23% year on year in October 2020, as against the 13.71% recorded in September 2020. Now, this is where the interest is. The Composite Food Index, a closely watched component, rose by 17.38% in October 2020 as compared to 16.66% recorded in September. A whole lot of us at this point in time, this is what matters to us. If you go to the market now, you will realize that there is practically nothing that you can buy that has not changed in terms of price. Every market that you go to, the price of every commodity has risen by a certain number of percentage. So it has further made a mockery of what you and I as individuals earn. Sad if you are a fixed income earner. Sad. Like I said, if you are a fixed income earner. Sad because your income is not increasing, yet everything that you use that income to buy is increasing in value. So your purchasing power every day is reduced. It's reduced. It's reduced. If you have a family of 6 people, you know what you'll be spending on a daily basis to feed a family of 6. If on the average, your children take food of 300 naira per meal. So for every child is 900 naira per meal. Breakfast, lunch, and supper. So if you have 4 children, 9 times 4, that's 3,600. So while you have to calculate that of your wife and yourself, 6 mouths to feed, you will realize how badly it is affecting your income. Value of Naira has completely been eroded by inflation. So the economic power of Naira has gone below what an average person can smile about. Inflation is terrible, practically affecting every household. And like I said earlier, it is sad if you are a fixed income earner. Now let's look at interest rate. Nigeria's treasury bill at the last auction traded at an incredibly low figure of 0.35 to 0.5% per annum. Wow. At a point in our lifetime, the rate on treasury bill was high as 16%, as high as 15%, as high as 14%. Those periods were periods of boom, where everybody would take their investments from fixed deposits and look to book treasury bill with their funds. Because at that point in time, the rates of treasury bill was hedging inflation. At that point, inflation was not as high as 14% that we presently have, 14.23%. So it is easier for every investor to go book their investment in treasury bill. But what do we have? It's a very sad commentary today. Treasury bill rate is 0.35% to 0.5% year on year per annum. More worrisome is the fact that the bills were This means investors are willing to earn almost nothing on their investment rather than take the risk on an economy that is full of uncertainty. The economy is so completely uncertain such that investors are not ready to risk putting their fund in the economy because you're not sure whether your money is going to come out. As bad as it is, that is where we have found ourselves. The average rate on savings is 1.25. That is yield on 1 year, on 4 years, and on 10 years of federal government bond are 0.14%, 0.14%, 1.98%, and 4.38% respectively. That's on 1 year, on 4 years, and on 10 years. Incredibly low. If the interest rate is so low, so who goes into investment at this point in time? However, there is a little bit real hope in the stock market. Stock market seems to be gaining traction and seem to be more stable. So, year-to-date return on Nigerian stock market is 27.03%. That is good news. Investors seem to be more carefully moving funds into capital markets for better returns. With the economy now officially in recession, stock investors will likely trade more carefully. So, that is another caution. With the economy in recession right now, for those who are into stock, they will trade more carefully. So, where do we go from here? As a nation, as individual. Remember, we're talking about money management. Remember, we're talking about money management. This is just the beginning. We're just beginning to open up ourselves gradually to what we're talking about, money management. But then we need to have all of these figures at the back of our mind before we will understand the true concept of what we're talking about, money management. So where do we go from here? Nigeria is in recession. Second time in 5 years. The rates are very low if you are an investor. Inflation is very high. Eroding value of Naira is having a very terrible effect on family income. Families are struggling. Individuals are seeing how hard that they are put into their work, yet with little resources because it is fixed. And all the variables have increased in terms of value. Where do we go from here? Do we go over there? Do we go far away? Do we go somewhere else? Oh, we don't even have an idea, or we are not sure. We don't even know. We are uncertain. Do we just stay where we are? Where do we go from here? 2020 is coming to an end gradually, and apparently we're already in the month of December. So where do we go from here? Here comes 2021. What are your plans? What are your goals? Folks, I want to tell you this. 2021, your finances, your financial planning for the year 2021, it's in your hand. What becomes of our finances in the year 2021, it's in your hand. What you do, how you thrive financially in the year 2021, it's in your hand. It's in your hand. It's in your hand. And it's very important that you watch carefully what you do in 2021. 2021, I bet you have to be deliberate and intentional about your finances. It's not going to be business as usual. 2021 is not going to be a year of frivolities. It's a year of strategic planning. It's a year that you have to sit down and take the solid decision that you to move ahead financially. 2021, it's in your hand. Money management. Don't forget, we're talking about money management. Management. Number one, you have a budget.
Wow. Hello, friends. So loaded. I don't feel like stopping it, but I would like to hear from us because we have like 2 other presentations to go. So and I'm being tempted to to actually not stop this video because I'm getting interested myself. So I want to throw it open to us. We still have like 2 other presentations which are recorded just like this. But I would want Mr. Abayomi to speak to us live, you know. So I would want us to make comments. Should we hear him or we finish the video? Or because I don't know, we are supposed to finish round off this presentation by 8:30 because we don't want to overdrag it. We are looking at a lot of things. Except you say otherwise, if we can continue, you want us to be here. I can stay with you till 10. I can stay with you till 11, you know, but I will just have to, you know, harmonize because there are so many information that we want to bring our way. The only thing that could probably deprive us is probably our time or our data. So I want to just throw it open to us. Kindly speak up if you are talking or probably signify so that I can unmute you so that I want us to know where we should go from here. Should we hear more of uh, Mr. Yomi? You know, so please kindly speak before we move on. Who is talking? Who is talking? Who is talking? Or should we just go ahead? Okay, somebody said, let's hear him live for a few minutes. Somebody said, go ahead. We have 2 options. Which one should I go ahead with? Live or recorded? Can send in your chats. Okay, if you don't want to talk, you can send in your chats. It's like people really want to see Mr. Yomi Babalola live. Very well. The video is available. The video, in fact, I've sent the link. I'll still resend it. It's on Facebook and it's on YouTube. We have the video. We have the video on Facebook. We have it on YouTube. It's live. It's live. The video is live, and we can even share after now to our friends. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Please, can you ask your question again? I did not get it. Okay. What I'm saying, this is Fumilayo. We have Mr. Yomi live, and the video you just watched is a recorded one, which is still available online. But we have him live now. Probably we'll go listen to him and just get few things, probably in the next like 10 minutes before we go to the other presentation we have. That's what we're talking about. Okay, we can watch the video later individually. Okay, that's good. I just want to give us a tip of what he's talking about and to tell you, we are very grateful to Mr. Yomi Babalola. He did 2 sessions for us of that video, which we are going to make made available live. Okay, Mr. Yomi, people are anxious to meet with you, so kindly come on board, sir. God bless you. You're welcome.
Good evening, everyone.
Good
I
evening,
hope that
sir.
I hope we all can hear me very well.
Very well, very well.
Thank you. It's a
Yes,
rare
we can.
privilege. It's a rare privilege. It's a rare privilege to be here this evening. And I must first of all commend Bro Samson Omoto Show for such a very seamless delivery on the media stuff. It was such a blessing to me. He sparked up some things in me, and I must give it to him. Thank you so much, Bro Samson Omoto Show. That was a very excellent delivery, albeit short, but it was powerful. It was powerful. You provoked some things in me, and I think I can do more. So So thank you for being a blessing. And once again, I want to say thank you to Pastor Femi for having me and every one of us who is here. The truth about it is that it's sad enough that we don't have as many people who are supposed to be here join us. You know, most of the time when we have things like this, the people you expect to join, the people who have some of those challenges are the ones that run away from it. The people who are getting better and better are still more desirous of getting better. So they take advantage of every opportunity that is opened, and then they key into it, and then lives become much more better and easier for them. However, the people that you're trying to pass across the message to lift them up from the level where they are and take them to another level, you rarely find them available. Well, it's sad. It's a very sad commentary, and I think it's an issue that we have over here. It's not over here alone, but maybe particularly in the Christendom, because I think we are too lax about so many things, and we take a lot of things for granted. And then sad, we see our brothers out there doing very well. We see those who are not even as privileged. I call it privileged because we have the knowledge of the Father in us, and so we are much more privileged. And then we are supposed to take more advantage of the programs like this, or programs like these that are put up for us, but then we shy away from them. But those out there take advantage of things like this and they get better. God is fair. That's the truth about it. God is fair. He sends rain on the just and the unjust. So he's a fair God. But then whatever it is that we do with our lives, whatever we do with the advantages that are open up to us, the opportunities that we have at our hands, whatever we do with them, I'm sure we are all going to give account. But God is fair and is fair to all. And so I want to say this. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Now, the truth about it is, listening to that video, I myself, honestly, Pastor Femi, I'm confused because I really didn't know that I was the one who did that. And I was finding myself where I was. I'm under AC right now, but then I'm finding myself that, wow, what a word that was coming out. And I'm particularly being ministered to, and I'm particularly being blessed by myself. And so I want to once again thank you for this program. Honestly, when we want to talk about money and we want to continue to talk about money, we ain't going to end it. But then in just a very few minutes, I believe that we have listened to a few lines of some of the things that I said, and we have not really fully gone deep into some of the things that we're supposed to be exposed to. But the truth about it is that let's bring it home. Let's begin home. Have you gone out today? If you went out today, what did you see out there? Where did you touch today? I was out for a greater period of today, and I saw so many things. Yesterday, I was out to check on someone, and from where we were, he took me somewhere, and everywhere I go, when I have the opportunity and my kids are around, I take the advantage of moving them about with me so that some of the things